Hey, you're welcome back to Project Management Demystified. My name is Michael. I'm a VP and a project management professional. Right, so I think this is episode 26 of our project. In the last episode, I spoke about some of the things that happen towards the end of a project. So I spoke about landing the project and trying to get change management in place for the project so that the project lands. Then I asked the question that what if the project doesn't land? So before I go into the project not landing, I want to quickly describe something. So it's rare. It happens, but it's rare for you to be on a project, especially massive project, from start to finish. Because most people, or a lot of people, the life cycle in a role is about 2 to 4 years. So if there's a big project that spans over, say, 2-3 years, there's a likelihood that you might not start the project and end it. So you might join in the middle and leave, or join in the middle and towards the end, or start here and not finish it. So that happens. I just want you to have that at the back of your mind. So if you have the opportunity to be on a project from start to finish, then count yourself to be lucky. Most permanent roles tend to have people jumping from one project to the other. So if you're in a permanent role and you're in a project team, then you could be assigned to a project, but if the need changes, priority changes, the focus could be on another project. I just wanted to put that out there. So project not landing. If a project does not land, so that means that, say we had benefits at the start of a project that we thought we were going to realize. So in the example of improving the waiting period within the NHS, I think we mentioned things like reducing complaints and media attention. So that would have been got through information and feedback from the service users, from stakeholders. So data collection would have been built into the solution that we're building. So the mobile app or the online system that we have would have data collection on the back end, and it'll be useful for us to get things like feedback from customers. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how did you do this? So that can happen. That's straightforward. Although the presentation of the feedback, the tone of the feedback, the question that's being asked could take months to start and finish, because you have to go over the questions and make sure the questions are communicating the right things that you want them to be communicating. So you don't just come up with questions. Various stakeholders come together, script writers and everybody, so that the tone of voice is right and everything is correct. So we had a benefit at the start of the project that we want to be tracking. So benefits measurements would now come into play. So say we used to get 1,000 complaints, or weekly newsletter, or the media calls on the organization weekly. So we'll now start checking the pulse of those sources. Do we still have 1,000 complaints? Are they reducing? Are they increasing? If they are reducing, so you could go into detail to putting into pounds and pennies. Sometimes it's challenging to have a pound value to everything that you're doing on a project, but it's possible. It just takes time. So for instance, for a complaint, so let's say you have you pay someone, just as an example, you pay someone £2,000 and they work 20 hours. So that means it's like £10 per hour. So if a complaint takes, I don't know, 10 minutes, so you can divide that. So 10 minutes, 10 pounds per hour, divide that by 6, whatever you get might be the cost of a complaint. Some complaints could also have elements of gesture of goodwill. Gesture of goodwill, where you give customers gifts or money for the complaints, for just a gesture of goodwill, or to put them back in the position they were in. So things like that. So this might not necessarily work in an NHS environment, but there are ways that we can calculate the pounds and penny values. It might not be to the exact, but just to give an idea of how that can be measured, and checking if measurement benefits that we agreed at the start of the project is being realized. So if complaints reduce, we continue to track it and make sure it continues to reduce. If it doesn't reduce, we go back and work with the teams to see if they're using the systems properly. Did we miss something at the start of the project that we should have considered and we didn't consider? So maybe I'll stop there, but these are some of the thinking that go into landing a project and ensuring that benefits is measured and benefits are realized. I'll leave it there, and I'll see you on the other side. Cheers. Bye-bye.